Hey, sorry guys. Since allotted too much RAM, my laptop got crashed. So let me start it there. Do let me know if you can hear me and my video is clear, like the screen share is clear. Okay. Uh, Sorry. Hey guys. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I'm starting the screen share again. Hope it's my screen share is visible.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. Yeah, looks what happened is I allotted too much RAM and my laptop got crashed. So let me start it again. So we are here, like we are setting up the Ubuntu in the virtual box. So a second. Yeah, so we are selecting default language and default option. So use wired connection or do not connect to internet. So here we are just keeping the Yeah, here we are just keeping the default one. So it will automatically pick up the Wi-Fi. So here we are doing the installation. So we can try Ubuntu. It will just show the US and until you reboot, it will stay there. So we are doing installation. So we have interactive or we have advanced auto install where we can specify the YAML file, whatever we need. Let's go with interactive one and default.
అయ్యా మన స్టార్ట్ చేసిన క్లాస్ నేను ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోయినా కూడా
So here it is. We can erase the disk and manually. Yeah. So here it is. We can erase the disk and install Ubuntu, or here we can do the manual installation. So let's go with manual one. So our hard disk is 25 GB. We can do the partition, or we can install on the whole thing. Okay. So let's go with the. Yeah. Click on free space and new. So I'll give like 15 GB. Okay. And the second one, we'll create one more with the rest of the things. So, and this one, we can do a mount. Okay. So what we mount as is a slash partition. And the second one, we'll just keep it as it is. If you want, we can use in future. Okay. So we can click next. So this is my account. I can specify. So So this is where it will take another 20 minutes of time. So I'm gonna stop the VM here because since I already have another one ready. Okay. So
So the partitions were created inside this VM you are seeing.
yeah, inside the hard disk I created a partitions like two partitions I created. There is a 25 GB. So I made two partitions, and that's up to us, man. Like if you want, okay, let me show you.
Okay, it's not compulsory.
No, it's not compulsory.
Oh,
Yeah, we will revisit partition again in detail, but right now it's not compulsory.
okay.
I'm not sure how this tool is working, but yeah, okay. Let me go back. So yeah, we have 25 GB partition, and what we did, we divided into two. Okay, so the file format size is ext4. So usually in Windows, we do follow something called NTFS or FAT. Here in Linux, we do follow this, and we can do the mount. Okay. So in Windows, you would follow this approach, right? Okay. You can mount the whole thing, or you can create a partition as C drive or D drive and all. Okay. So here we specified as a slash, and this one we didn't specify anything. We just kept it as it is. Okay. And what happens? The Linux structure, so it will fault as a parent child, the hierarchy. Okay. So the top level parent is slash. You have children under that. Yeah. So you have children under that. So the children would be you have etc. This is where your system related or the system user related, password related, or any security related things and all, they will fall under here. So you have slash boot. And this is the boot related information will be there, or the booting related information. So you have slash var, where usually the logs, system logs and all, they will come under here. You have slash user, the user related documentation and all, they will come here. And you have slash home. This is where user home directory will be there. So slash home slash sesi slash home slash Dattu. So all the user related information, they will come under slash home. And we do have this one slash temp. This is a temporary directory. So what are the files written into the slash temp? They will go clean it up and they will come back. It's like they will, once you reboot, you won't have anything there. And you have the final one is slash proc. The process related information, right? So how much memory and all they were taking. So all the information they will be here. And you have devices. So you have the data disk and the drives related information or the device related information. So they all will be come over here. I think there is one or two extra folders are there, but these are all, most of these are all the main thing. And the slash would be root. If you want to switch to var, so we need to give the slash var. So in the directory. So let me open this. Yeah, I'll take my default one and I'll decrease the RAM size. And I'll start it. So one more option, what we are looking for is the host networking, right? So you have something called host. So this is your laptop. Host in the data center terminology, this is called hypervisor, as we discussed. So we have something called guest OS operating system, guest OS. So now what happens is in the networking, right? So usually this will come under something called NAT. Okay. So it will sit behind something called a NAT. It's a sandbox kind of thing where like no external traffic will come over here. Okay. So no one can reach it over here. Only uh, only the traffic will flow outside. Okay. So I'll explain this one in detail. So usually this one will be under NAT. So no any external traffic will reach here. So for that, in order to access it, we need to have two separate methods. So one, in the NAT, we need to do a port forwarding. One specific port we can do a forward, or we can create a bridge. So in the bridge network, the guest OS and the laptop, they both are connected. So where we can access. So if I go back, yeah. So this is my user. So this is how the Ubuntu looks like. So as I told, this is a slash home. And what I'm gonna do is I'll open terminal here. So what do we want is we want to install SSH so that we can access the guest OS from here. So through SSH. So SSH will happen mostly under port 22, TCP port 22. So we have to make sure the port 22 is open in this guest OS. So by default, it is open unless you have firewall rules and all. So we'll access a utility called PuTTY or MobiX. So we're gonna access the guest OS. So every time I cannot go and access the UI. So usually it will be the same thing. The UI will be running under the hypervisor. So if people want to access, they will access via terminal session. So that is called SSH terminal session. So what we do is sudo apt update. So what do you mean by apt update is? So in the beginning, it will be little tough to travel through, but slowly you'll get used to it. So we'll go to cd slash. So we are going into the root volume. From here, we have a command called ls-ltr, where it will show the list of the files. So it will show the list of the files in the recursive order. Okay. So here we have something called apt. Do we have apt? So here we have something called apt, and yeah, this is where we have the sources dot list. Sources dot list d Ubuntu. So what exactly it is? So if I open this, so this is a list of files, the archive files of the programs. So where do we want to install? So if I go back, so we have apt. So this is the program manager. So if you want to install any things and all, any programs, we need to use the apt. We have ls-ltr. ls command will list out the files. So we have ls-ltr. So it will list out the files in the recursive order, whichever is the last updated. Recursive as in it will start from the last and then it will keep on growing. We do have a cat command. So usually if you want to see a file, so we need to in the Windows, we can just double click and see it. In Linux, we need to see using cat. And cd is a change directory command, where we can change the directory, current directory wherever we are, we can change it. So let me go back to here. So as I told, we have the list of files, the library sources. So the list of files Ubuntu where the all the programs are there. When we do apt update, it will keep updating to the latest list. So all the libraries, it will update to the latest. So that's what we did. Sudo apt update. So we want to install OpenSSH. Sudo sudo apt install.
Capgemini is in record and report processor.
OpenSSH server. So this is the program which will allow the communication from
Only
the.
I can say
One second, guys. So this is what. So this is what the sudo apt OpenSSH server. This is the program which will allow the communication. So I'm gonna install this. It's already installed. Let me remove this. Sudo. I'm installing it again. Usually it should ask for a prompt. It's not asking. So do you want to install or not? So let me show you how it will ask. So this is what it will give. So do you want to continue, go ahead or not? So usually it will give the prompt. So what I'll do is, so when installing itself, I'll give -y. So it's gonna do a yes for all the prompts. Okay. So we have a OpenSSH. It got installed. So let me show you. Apt info. Okay. So systemctl. Start SSHD and status. So if you see it right, so it's saying it started the listening on port 22. So let me put it here. So it's gonna start the SSH service in the background, and the status will show whether it started or not. So
నెంబర్ బాగా వేయాలంట అందరూ రాజమౌళి అందరూ సెకండ్ రౌండ్ అదేదో వచ్చిందంట అది వాయిస్ లో అది
Yeah, now we have the port 22, the SSH is running. So we're gonna try to SSH into that. So for that we have putty. Wait, yeah. So do we know the host IP or address? So host IP is something called address kind of thing, where for each host you will have a specific address allocated. So if you want to talk to someone, we need their contact number or the name, right? So similarly, if I want to connect to the guest OS, I need their IP address. So that IP address goes like this. So in order to find the IP address, so I have the command ifconfig or ipaddr. So let me do that. Yeah, so the ifconfig shows my two interfaces. This is called loopback interface. This is the one, the main interface. The IP address is listed over here, 192.168.0.44. So in the putty, I'm gonna try the same thing. 192.168.0.44, and the port number is 22.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಪ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ಐಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಚಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಅನಿಸ್ತು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ.
Hey, Divakar, can you mute, man? Yeah. So we have the login here. So I'm gonna enter my credentials. I think it's Dattu. Yeah, I'll make the text size big. So yes, so I have my OS running, but I'm able to log into the backend using the putty. So I'll try to increase the font size. Yes. So guys, let me take a pause here. So any questions till here?
Maybe need the OpenSH to install on the Ubuntu.
Sorry, could you please repeat that?
Yeah. Why you install the OpenSSH on the Ubuntu? It's already not open.
You are asking why did I install, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it depends on OS flavor. Yesterday we discussed the OS family, right? Okay, let me go here. Yeah, so this OS family, as I told, so this OS family, as I told, so CentOS will come with the default things, whereas Ubuntu, they don't give the SSH by default. So that's the reason I installed it. If you take a CentOS, Red Hat, or Fedora, anything, so you'll get the SSH by default. And the package will be different. For Ubuntu, it's OpenSSH. For RHEL, it's just SSHD. So yeah, it won't come with the OS. That's the reason we did. Yeah. Any other questions, man? Like till here, the putty session, right? So any other questions? Yeah, Venu, like we didn't cover much of the things, but we were troubleshooting the VMware part. But the putty connection, if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, I'll go ahead then. Yeah. So here we have the list of commands. Okay. So yeah, we have ls pwd. So I'll just start from scratch. So what is this list of commands and why we are using it? So we are at some place in Windows, we get to know where we are exactly. Coming to Linux, so it's little difficult, little tricky. We need to use multiple commands. And my suggestion is don't remember anything. You try practicing every day, so you will get to know by default. Okay. So PWD is your present working directory, where exactly you are. So I'm in my home directory. So let me go back to the root. CD space. So yeah, I'm gonna install something called tree. So why exactly we are giving sudo? I'll explain. So we have something called root user. So who is the master admin of the thing? Like in Windows, you have something called administrator. So here we have something called root user, and there will be only one root user. Where is the rest of the people are coming? So they need to authenticate to root user using sudo. So sudo will allow to execute any admin level commands. So if I'm logging as my user, I need to run as a sudo. So to run any admin task like installing a program or shutting down a VM, any other thing. So I need to use sudo to that. There is a specific configuration to handle sudo. So I'll come to that part. Yeah, I installed a tree. So what exactly is a tree? I'll tell you. So tree will give you the structure, how exactly it is. So what I'll do is I'll show you the structure at two levels. Okay. Tree hyphen L. So tree hyphen L2 will give it the level 2 tree structure. So what I'll do, I'll try level 1. So yeah, this is what. So we are in the slash directory. So we have this many things. We have bin, boot, home, etc, lib. So all these directories are there. So let's go back to our home directory. Cd backslash enter. So if you want to create a directory, if you want to create a folder, right? So I have these things, desktop, downloads, music, and all other things. So let's say if I want to create a new directory, so I can create it like mkdir demo one. And let's say if I want to create a child under the directory, right? So mkdir, just giving the folder name. And if I give tree again, so this is where it is. So I have a demo folder, I have a subfolder. And we have some other commands. Let me go through that. Yeah, we have RM, CP, and MB. So I can create a dummy file, a test file. Okay. So touch and touch. So touch is where you will create a dummy directories, which are empty files. So during using touch, I just created empty files. So I gonna show as a ls-ltr. So it is showing my files. So what I'll do, I'll give rm-hello.txt. So rm is the command which used to remove the file. Let's say if I want to remove the directory, I need to use rm-rf. So it will remove the entire home directory. And let's say if I don't want to specify the full name, I can specify the while flag. So that will be like rm hello. And I have a question here. So why do you think I'm not giving sudo commands here? Like Earlier for everything I'm giving sudo commands. So here I'm not giving sudo here. Anyone would be able to answer. Okay, let me explain them. So if you see this ls-ltr, if you'll see the owner information here. So who is the owner is Dattu. It's my name. So since I am the owner, I no need to use any sudo command. I can just use rm or anything. So to create or delete the directories or the files. So that is the reason I'm not using sudo. Like if let's say if I'm touching the root directories or any important higher level directories and all, so I need to use the sudo command. So let's say if I want to read something like under etc I have so many files. So what I'll do is sudo or rsyslog.com. Okay. So cat space /etc rsyslog.com. Okay. This is the and let me try different one. Okay. I'm not sure. Usually it won't give the directory permission, but I think it will show the list of the directories. But if we give the full permissions, like it will not give display permission as well, the read permission as well. So using cat, we are just reading the file. So I'll take a small pause over here, like I'll take another 10 minutes, guys, if it's fine for you, or we can close up here. Yeah, any questions, guys, till here? Like I know I'm going very basic level. Let me show the copy as well. So I have a cp command, cp demo.txt. So copy will create a exact copy the file and it will create whatever the name we provide. Okay. If I want to create two different directories, so I can do it like /temp c.txt. Okay. In Linux, we don't have rename policy. So I have this se.txt. Let's say if I want to rename it, I cannot do it rename directly. I need to use something called mv. So mv space. So we'll check with ls-ltr. So yeah, it got reading. And so I can go a little further tomorrow. So I'll go through the list of these things. We'll go over the grep and all other commands as well. So before that, let me take a pause here. So I know we got some issues, but yeah. Any questions, guys? Till now, I know it's very basic things, but any questions you have? Okay, so in that case, since we have time constraint, I'll try to wrap up here. So tomorrow I'll cover this. We went through the file and directory management. So tomorrow I'll cover these comments like we have the Vim editors, the chown, and the user IDs and group and the process management. So yeah, that would be it. Yeah, I'll be stopping it here, guys. So I guess we'll be good. Thank you, everyone.